Alright, so I know a lot of you guys love to sketch cars just as much as I do. And I wanted to make a quick exercise doing the things we just did with the hairdryer and the cell phone, but this time, yes, we're gonna sketch cars. So I'm really excited about this because this is something I really love doing, and I hope you're excited too. So let's start with thinking about how you can sketch a car in side view. So let's say you have different kind of cars. You have an SUV, for example. You have let's do an SUV, let's do a minivan, and of course a sports car. So we need to think in geometries here. That's the whole point of the exercise. So let's do SUV. So if you Google a lot of SUVs, you're gonna see that they have some similar features in common. For example, they are usually they have a big block like this, and they have another block which is the hood, and that's about it. And then they have wheels, of course, otherwise it will be weird. And the ground clearance here is the important thing to separate this from a minivan. So we want to have the baseline going almost in the middle of the wheel here, as you can see right there. And then we're done. We can now start to design this car, make it into a Jeep looking vehicle. We want to have a wind screen or a windshield with an angle, of course. Or actually, Jeep has some of the older Willys and the Wranglers have an upright windscreen, so you can have that if you want to. And then a bit of a sloping line here. And short overhang at the back, also short at the front. And then we can design the windows and the greenhouse in here. And the fenders or wheel arches, which on a lot of SUVs they are squarish instead of just rounded around the wheels. And we get to practice our circles here too, which is cool. Alright, we have our little SUV here. Let's make it a two-door SUV, because the wheelbase is kind of short on this one, I have to say. It turned out really short, but it's fine. Looks like a cartoon car almost. But we get the proportions, and that's the important part with this exercise. And we have the suspension in here that we can add as well. And we have a lot of rubber on these off-road tires. So a tiny rim here in the middle. I think this pen is starting to die. There's not a lot of ink left in it, so I'm gonna grab another one after this sketch. So anyway, here we have our Jeep or SUV. And the proportions here, as you can see, we started with geometries, such as the big square here, which you can see if I'm gonna shade it. That's the square we started with, and then we made this second square as the hood, right here. And doing this makes it so much easier to sketch cars and sketch any kind of product, because you get a better understanding of it, of the proportions especially. If you get the proportions right of anything, then it doesn't really matter. The rest of the sketch is still gonna look great. The proportions are pretty much everything in a sketch. Okay, so let me quickly just change this pen. And let's go ahead and sketch a minivan.